All right, welcome to today's album review. And today we are doing another Drake album. We did one yesterday, it was Certified Lover Boy. And today we're doing Her Loss. Yesterday was David's pick, today's my pick. And this is a bit different from the usual, but I thought it was necessary for a few of these albums to give more of a in-depth review where I kind of break it down, opposed to the standard, here's the album, here's a good song, here's a bad song, and this is my rating. So today we're going to go over Her Loss. So like I said, we're going to be going into this album, and I think it's different from a few other Drake albums. At the time, and even now, I feel like it got publicity, but it didn't get super well reception. People don't look at Her Loss and say, "Oh, that's one of Drake's best albums." No one's saying that. But in my opinion, it is one of my favorite Drake albums for sure, just because of kind of the dynamic of it. But to kind of set the stage, I mean, at the time, and a little bit still today, Drake's, obviously out of his prime. He's not the Scorpion or, if you're reading this type of producer where, people are claiming that he's still, the greatest, or he's producing the best work out there. But this album really stuck with me, and I really enjoyed a lot of the tracks, and I think that can be connected to the fact that you look at Knife Talk, or you look at these songs where you throw 21 on, and it's like, not only are you listening to the song because 21 Savage is on it and he makes the song better, but it's like when he's on it and Drake's on it, they both are like elevated, and they make not only the song better but each other better in that manner. But I think this album gets overlooked quite a bit, and there's a lot that you are missing out on if you don't really appreciate it. So, like, for example, you have these great tracks where it's like, if you want the hype, you want the Drake hype, it's there, right? Just look at like On BS. Not only is it a hype album, but it does something different, and that's what I always like. I hate when Drake is just playing this game where he's just trying to maintain his audience and he can't do anything different. But if you look at Rich Flex and On BS and Circle Loco, these are songs that he did not follow his exact format like he always does, and he's making something different, and I really appreciate that. And then even further, if you don't necessarily want that, you want more of a slower, calm vibe, there are some of the best chill, relaxing Drake songs on this album that he's put out. Like, you look at Hours in Silence, you look at Privileged Rappers. I mean, these are just, not only are these just bangers, but they're so just calming. Like, go out for a drive, go out for a walk, go out for something, and you can just put these on, and you just feel the vibe. It's great. But it's I think it does a lot different, and that sets it apart a bit. And I think it had some good publicity and had some bad publicity. I think Rich Flex got memed to death, and so it was taken a lot less seriously. But I am a big fan of this album, if you can't tell already. It's a little loud, but so for those reasons, and for the playability, for the dynamic between these two artists, for the fact that Drake is doing something different that he doesn't always do, right? I have a lot of respect for this album. So for that reason, we are going to give Her Loss an 8.9. Very strong 8.9. But why 8.9? Why not just a 9, right? Well, this is not a perfect album by all means. You know, it's a great album to like sit down and listen to, but it's missing still the sort of influence and message that other albums that contain that I do put as a 9, those have that. Those have either influence or they have such a strong message that resonates with you. So if this had that, and it had all these other things I talked about, this would be nearly a perfect album. But that's where it falls short, and that's why I can't list it as a 9 after I've already rated these other albums as a 9. But that's the rating. And this is what I look for when I listen to Drake. I look for him actually trying to put something out that it feels like he enjoys making, not just some club music or some kind of boring, repetitive nonsense that he's put out a million times. It's not what I look for. Because I wouldn't say I'm a Drake hater, but I don't think he makes a lot of music that he, it's influential, but it gets repetitive, and it's like he put himself in a box. So I think this album gets a lot of hate that it shouldn't, but that's the rating for Her Loss. We've done a lot of back-to-back rap albums lately, and but don't worry, coming up, tomorrow is definitely not a rap album. Tomorrow's going to be a lot different, and we have a lot coming up that are either completely separate genre or something that I've never even got into, and that's kind of why we're doing this thing, to diversify our music taste. So if you have any recommendations for an album that you enjoy or that you want to you want me to check out, then go ahead and message me or comment, or I don't know, whatever. Also check out David's reviews. They're great. He has a bit different music taste than me, but definitely worth checking out. And yeah, see you guys later.